You've been told that power comes from privilege, that wealth is a gift of birth, connections, or luck. But the truth, the one no one wants to admit, is that fortune has always belonged to those who understood how people think. Machiavelli saw it centuries ago. The masses do not move by reason, they move by perception. Power does not emerge from effort. It emerges from control of emotion, of narrative, of appearance. The one who understands this rule can build an empire from nothing but awareness. Look around you. Every system, every company, every leader you admire is built on psychology. Money flows not to those who deserve it, but to those who manipulate belief. And belief, Machiavelli said, is the true gold of any age. If you want to move from nothing to power and fortune, you must stop acting like a servant of reality and begin to design it. Stop working for systems. Begin to study them. Stop competing for validation. Learn to manufacture perception. Because wealth, in its purest form, is control. Control over attention, over emotion, over timing. The one who can manage these three can control everything else. You've felt this truth without being able to name it. When someone walked into a room and shifted the energy without saying a word. When a company sold you something you didn't need, and you thanked them for it. When a leader said almost nothing, and everyone listened. That is the invisible currency Machiavelli understood. Perception as power. He wrote that, "It is not necessary to have all the virtues, but to appear to have them." The world rewards appearance over authenticity. The wise learn to use that truth rather than fight it. The poor shout about their integrity while the powerful strategize their image. So the first principle of Machiavelli's mind code is the architecture of perception. Everything begins here. You must understand how others see, not how they think, but how they feel. Humans are not rational creatures. They are emotional engines disguised as logical beings. Their desires are predictable. Their fears are measurable. Their attention is programmable. To build fortune from nothing, study these levers the way a general studies terrain. What captures attention? What triggers envy? What symbols make people trust? Power hides inside these patterns. The successful do not seek admiration, they construct it. They choose what to reveal, when to reveal it, and to whom. They let mystery grow like interest in a bank. They turn scarcity into magnetism. Watch the masters of our age. Their silence is more persuasive than your effort. Their absence more powerful than your presence. They have learned the same lesson Machiavelli taught his princes. Men judge more by the eye than the hand, for all can see but few can touch. If you want control, you must learn to be seen selectively, to appear inevitable, to act as if success were gravity itself. That is the second principle, the illusion of inevitability. The human mind craves certainty. When people sense that you cannot be stopped, they stop resisting. They rationalize your success as destiny. They join you because opposing you feels futile. The most powerful companies, leaders, and investors do not convince people they are right. They convince them they are inevitable. Every move they make signals control, even when they are improvising. They never beg for loyalty. They assume it. From nothing, you can build this aura, not by lying, but by controlling your energy. Stop over-explaining. Speak less. Move slower. Each delay builds tension. Each silence multiplies intrigue. Fortune grows in the gaps you leave unexplained. Machiavelli called this appearing virtuous while being strategic. The crowd wants to believe in stories of destiny. Your calm becomes their evidence. But make no mistake, calmness is not passivity. It is weaponized composure. The moment you stop reacting, you start directing. The world runs on emotional electricity. Most people waste theirs. You conserve yours. You redirect theirs. That is how power accumulates. The third principle is calculated generosity. It sounds paradoxical, but every powerful figure practices it. Machiavelli warned that a prince should appear compassionate, yet never at the cost of control. The smart know when to give and then why. You don't give to be loved. You give to build leverage. Every act of generosity creates a debt of attention, and attention, when repeated, becomes loyalty. The rich use gifts the way architects use foundations, not for beauty, but for stability. Be generous in moments that build perception, not comfort. A word of recognition at the right time can buy more loyalty than money ever could. A controlled loss can buy more trust than endless wins. You must learn to make others feel indebted, even as they believe they are independent. Now, let's move deeper, to the game of contrast. Every power structure thrives on polarity. You cannot be extraordinary unless you define what ordinary looks like. You cannot seem calm unless others are frantic. You cannot appear strong unless others reveal weakness. That's why the rich and powerful never blend in. They allow chaos around them because it sharpens their image. Machiavelli said a wise ruler must sometimes set traps for the fox and snares for the lion. In modern terms, let others expose their volatility while you remain composed. Because in every environment, social, financial, political, the calm mind becomes the reference point for stability. Money gravitates toward clarity. People invest in the one who seems least desperate. That's how you rise from nothing. Not by shouting louder, but by embodying the quiet that others interpret as certainty. But fortune, once built, is never static. It's dynamic, fluid, psychological, alive. That's why the next step is manipulating time. Machiavelli wrote that, "He who acts hastily is doomed." The impatient man spends his life chasing. The strategic one designs timing. In negotiation, in leadership, in life, time is the ultimate currency. Those who control it never appear rushed. From nothing, your time becomes your signal of worth. The poor are always available. The powerful make others wait. Waiting transforms curiosity into desire. Desire transforms into perceived value. The secret is not to delay arbitrarily, but with precision. Delay when emotion is high. Strike when silence has ripened tension. Fortune is harvested, not forced. And then, when the moment arrives, act without hesitation. That sudden movement, after prolonged calm, shocks the world into submission. People confuse it for genius. It is simply rhythm. Now comes the fifth principle, the mask of virtue. Machiavelli was clear. A wise ruler must learn how not to be good. The phrase horrified moralists for centuries, but they misunderstood him. He wasn't glorifying evil. He was describing realism. To maintain power, you must play within human expectation. Society demands virtue, so wear it. But beneath that mask, keep your autonomy untouched. The crowd worships what it can label. Let them label you harmless while you move strategically. Your public image should be stainless. Your private strategy should be steel. Show warmth to disarm. Use logic to decide. Speak of fairness. Act for effectiveness. This duality is not deceit. It's discipline. You're not lying to them. You're protecting the clarity that fortune demands. Because pure transparency is suicide in a world built on perception. Those who expose everything are devoured by those who expose nothing. Machiavelli understood that even honesty is a tool, not a duty. You choose when it serves you. And that leads us to the final code, the inner kingdom. No matter how far you rise, you will be tested. Power amplifies emotion, admiration and envy, trust and betrayal. Without inner control, outer control collapses. The fortune you built externally can evaporate if your mind becomes reactive. That's why the final step in Machiavelli's code is psychological fortification. You must build an empire within, unshakable by praise or attack. Detach from public opinion. Watch compliments and criticism pass through you like wind through glass. The moment you depend on approval, you lose leverage. Real fortune is sustained by emotional neutrality, the ability to observe chaos without becoming it, to lose and not break, to win and not become arrogant. Every empire that fell did so from within. The fall began the moment its ruler started believing his own myth. Machiavelli warned that fortune is a woman, unpredictable, seducing, and ruthless with the complacent. She rewards vigilance and punishes vanity. You must court her, not worship her. That means staying adaptive, strategic, unpredictable. Never confuse stability with safety. In the moment you think you've secured control, you begin to lose it. Every system, every business, every relationship must be re-earned through awareness. From nothing to power and fortune, the Machiavellian path is not a sprint, it's a continuous act of observation. The moment you stop observing, you start obeying. Now pause. Reflect. Where are you still reacting instead of observing? Where are you still asking for permission to move? Machiavelli's genius was not cynicism, it was clarity. He saw that human nature is consistent, predictable, and usable, and in that pattern, he found liberation. When you master perception, you master possibility. When you master timing, you master wealth. When you master yourself, you master everything. So here is your path. Architect perception. Become deliberate about how you are seen. Project inevitability. Embody calm and direction. Use generosity strategically. Build debts of attention. Manipulate time. Turn patience into pressure. Wear the mask. Protect your autonomy behind virtue. Build the inner kingdom. Remain ungoverned by chaos. Follow this, and fortune ceases to be luck. It becomes consequence. You began with nothing. But nothing is the most fertile ground for design. Those born into comfort rarely question the illusion. Those who start in silence can hear how the world actually works. You have no need for permission, luck, or miracle. Only lucidity, only precision. From nothing you can build everything. Because those who understand the code don't chase fortune. They become the magnet that fortune cannot resist. This channel is not for those who wish. It's for those who calculate. You've seen the patterns. You've felt the pull of control. Subscribe and stay 2 moves ahead of those still chasing validation. Comment below. What illusion about power will you dismantle first? The next video won't show you how to get rich. It will show you how to make power obey you.